consumers have actually been relatively clear if you look at a lot of the third-party research and consumer panel research around the factors that would influence them to be making a greater percentage of their purchases on a mobile device. If you look at kind of the top 10 factors, a surprising 5 are actually all related to checkout and the experience that they've seen as being kind of underwhelming. And first and foremost, consumers are looking for easier checkouts. That's kind of the #1 thing that consumers state would influence them to be doing a greater percentage of their purchases on mobile.
Nike Digital is an incredibly important part of the Nike strategy over the next 5 years. And since we're standing here in the L2 conference on mobile, I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about one of the major transformations that we've seen in the Nike business over the past 3 years, and that is greater than 50% of all Nike traffic is coming through mobile. It was interesting when we were looking at those slides of how mobile is penetrated in people's participation in mobile across the globe. Nike operates in every single one of the geographies that you saw listed up there. And some of this is US driven, but it's also, I can talk to you guys today about, this is globally driven. And if you look at some of the Asian countries or emerging markets, what you see is either markets where mobile is super high penetrations or markets where they're literally skipping past desktop because they're second movers, and what the dominant format, in fact, the only format in some of these markets is more or less mobile phones.
And it's a two-sided coin for us, and this is really important being a multi-channel retailer. We've talked a lot about the customer experience in mobile and what you're able to do from that perspective, but it also enables our salespeople. So we have 60,000 salespeople across our stores. Each one of those are trying to make a relationship with a customer. And we think that mobile will enable them to connect in new ways. So whether that's texting with customers, whether that's enabling mobile selling, so we can actually, in this example, send a product photo and allow someone to buy. It's allowing customers to check out in new ways. So in our rack stores, you can walk up to any salesperson and they can check you out right from the phone that's in their pocket. So no more lines, really helps with convenience there. And of course, our customers. They're on mobile all the time. They're on mobile in our stores.
What we have here is what I call progressive navigation, right? This is an amazingly powerful tool, right? When we think about it as retailers, we're typically taking an old print catalog mentality and putting that catalog, that product catalog, as a front door into our web experience, right? And then folks get dropped off and expect to find their way, right? Have to click through all the different product categories and hopefully find what they want, with little to no consulting, right? Now we have a messaging platform that's saying, hey, okay, let's build an outfit. Tell me what you like, and let's start with that as the conversation. And I told them I like a t-shirt, so I say, hey, we're gonna build an outfit around a t-shirt. That's a lot different than getting dropped off, right, at catalog.com.
But at Sephora, what we've found is that what's probably more important than adopting early is investigating early. How do we do that? First off, your investigations have to be guided by your strategy. You don't want to be off looking at a million different things. What's right for you, your company, your client? Put that client lens on and figure out, where should we be looking? 2, you gotta kiss a lot of frogs. We spend a lot of time looking for the right new technologies, and within a space, who might be or where this might be the right place, before we figure out what's just right. So as an example, I mentioned augmented reality at the top of the deck. We didn't come up with augmented reality last year. You guys know this has been in the space for a while. We've been watching augmented reality for over 5 years, talking to vendors, talking to leaders in the space, talking to early adopters to figure out what are the use cases that really make sense for Sephora. Is this technology ready? Is the behavior ready? 5 years ago, the technology was pretty cool. And we could think about some use cases then that we thought were really compelling, but we just weren't sure that the consumer behavior was there yet. It wasn't completely normal in 2012 to pull out your phone and watch a video, let alone be in a store and watch a video. Data plans really weren't there, coverage wasn't there. As we saw those behaviors change, we also saw web behavior and online behavior change, where she was very much more interested in learning the backstory, watching videos, hearing more context before she shopped. When those things all came together, finally, we said, we've got the technology, we know the use case, the client is now ready, let's go ahead and implement these. In reality, is augmented reality still a little early? Yes. But we've seen very good indications that this is on a upward trajectory, and we think this is the right place to be investing to start to tell those stories.
Mobile messaging, not going to spend a ton of time here because I think we already heard a fantastic presentation and waiting to obviously to hear the impact of the Facebook announcements today. But this is an area that's absolutely grown exponentially. And as we've talked about in the past, I think despite the fact that it's a fairly highly fragmented ecosystem, I think it's an ecosystem where, again, kind of one player, Facebook Inc. is winning. And when you look at kind of the monetization of Facebook in the messaging space, really Facebook Messenger is growing faster virtually than almost any other social media platform. And Facebook has yet to monetize. Facebook Messenger has 700 million users globally. If you compare that to WeChat, WeChat has about 500 million, and if you look at the monetization of WeChat, they've done about $2 billion in revenue, whereas Facebook Messenger is effectively at zero. And haven't seen a lot of kind of the plans yet for what's going to come out of the WhatsApp ecosystem. And we're, I think, big believers that whether it's Facebook Messenger or other messaging platforms like Keek, that this is going to be kind of the next customer service. And when you look at organizations that have employed basic mobile messaging tactics like SMS, in most cases, they've been highly effective from a conversion standpoint, but they've been cost prohibitive to implement at scale. And I think this is where a lot of these technologies, and I think when you look at who Facebook and other players in this space are benchmarking, it's largely kind of the great one-to-one customer service experiences that have been developed kind of out of China. And I think this is an area that we believe, and this is quite consistent kind of with the presentation earlier, that if you can put some forward-looking investment or at least forward-looking mind share into how this really elevates the service experience for your brand, we would argue this is kind of a good place to kind of put some of that effort.